They say the forest keeps secrets. Some secrets stay buried. Others hunt you. Ethan Miller never believed in ghost stories. But as he stood at the edge of Blackwood Forest that October night, he felt something watching him, something ancient, something patient. The town of Ashburn, Virginia, had always whispered about this place. People vanished here. Strange lights were seen between the trees. And then there was the legend of the Watcher, a figure said to stalk anyone foolish enough to enter after dark. Ethan thought it was nothing more than folklore. Until now. Because his best friend Lucas was missing. 2 days ago, Lucas went hiking and never returned. Search teams combed the woods, but there was no sign of him, no footprints, no dropped gear, nothing. As if the forest had swallowed him whole. And Ethan refused to let that be the end of it. He stepped into the forest, flashlight beam cutting through the thick mist. Each step seemed to pull him deeper into silence. No owls. No crickets. Just his own footsteps on damp leaves. Minutes stretched like hours. The woods felt wrong, too still, too heavy. His light flickered, forcing him to smack it back to life. That's when he found it. A clearing, hidden deep within the forest. Stones arranged in a circle, charred black. In the middle, a wooden totem, cracked and carved with strange symbols that seemed to writhe in the firelight. Ethan crouched, brushing his fingers over the carvings. The wood was fresh, recently cut. Suddenly, the air turned icy. His breath spilled out in pale mist. Then, snap. A branch broke behind him. Ethan spun, flashlight trembling in his grip. And that's when he saw it. At the edge of the clearing, between the trees, a figure stood. Tall. Motionless. Cloaked in shadows. It didn't move. Didn't speak. Just watched. The figure tilted its head slowly, like a predator deciding when to strike. Who's there? Ethan's voice cracked in the silence. No answer. And then, it melted into the dark, gone as if it had never been there. Ethan's heart hammered, but he forced himself forward. Lucas was out here. He had to be. The forest closed around him, the smell of damp moss and iron thick in the air. Shadows twisted unnaturally, stretching too long, too thin. Then he saw it, a glow ahead. He crept closer, breath-catching. Another clearing. A fire burned low at its center, encircled by symbols etched into the dirt. And near it, a torn scrap of Lucas's jacket. Ethan rushed forward, grabbing it with shaking hands. Relief surged through him, proof his friend had been here. But before he could call out, a whisper crawled through the clearing. You shouldn't have come here. The fire roared, flames snapping high. Shadows writhed on the trees like living things. Ethan's light swung wildly, and froze. There it was again. The figure. Taller now. Limbs impossibly long. A face swallowed in shifting darkness. And this time, it stepped closer. The Watcher had found him. Ethan staggered back, the scrap of Lucas's jacket falling from his grip. His flashlight quivered, barely holding back the abyss pressing in from every side. The figure didn't rush him. Didn't attack. It only stared, tilting its head with unnatural slowness, as if savoring his fear. Lucas! Ethan shouted into the dark. Where are you? A low rumble answered, half growl, half whisper. The ground seemed to vibrate beneath his boots. Then, from the shadows behind the fire, something moved. Ethan's breath hitched. Lucas. He stumbled forward, eyes wide, clothes torn, skin pale. His movements were jerky, puppet-like, as though invisible strings yanked at his limbs. His lips parted, and in a hollow, broken voice, he whispered. Ron. Ethan. Ethan froze. Lucas, it's me, I'm here to get you out. But before he could step closer, the Watcher raised a hand. Lucas convulsed, collapsing to his knees with a strangled cry. Ethan's blood ran cold. The Watcher wasn't just watching, it was controlling. Feeding. The forest came alive around them. Branches twisted like skeletal arms, roots clawed at the soil, the trees themselves seemed to lean closer. Whispers echoed from every direction, layering over one another until they became deafening. One more soul, one more secret, one more sacrifice. Ethan aimed his flashlight straight at the watcher. For the first time, he saw its face, or what passed for one. Not flesh. Not bone. Just a shifting void, swirling with shadows that pulsed like veins. Looking into it felt like staring into endless night. His knees buckled. His mind screamed at him to run. But his heart refused to leave Lucas. With shaking hands, Ethan grabbed a branch from the fire pit, its end burning bright. He held it up like a weapon. "Let him go," he shouted. The watcher moved, slow at first, then faster than his eyes could track. One moment it was across the clearing, the next it loomed inches away, its shadow engulfing him. The firelight bent around its form, sucked into its darkness. Ethan thrust the burning branch forward. For a moment, the figure recoiled, the shadows hissing. The whispers turned to screams. The forest itself seemed to shake. "Ethan," Lucas gasped, his voice breaking free for the first time. "Don't let it win." But the watcher surged back, wrapping the clearing in suffocating black. The torch in Ethan's hand sputtered, flames dying in the void. And then, silence. Ethan blinked. The clearing was gone. He stood in the middle of the road at the edge of town, his flashlight dead, the night eerily still. Lucas's jacket scrap still clutched in his hand. Had it been real? His phone buzzed in his pocket. Hands trembling, he pulled it out. A message glowed on the screen. From Lucas. Time, 3:17 a.m. "You should have left me there." The screen went black. And in the reflection, just behind him, a tall figure stood, watching.